This should work now. I made a slight. That's the ice maker. I made a slight snafu. Don't get it. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Nobody knows you're on. They know you're on. I'm kidding. All right, really fast. I want to introduce one of my best friends, but first the sponsors. Head over to www.johnbartoloshow.com. Check out a complete list of sponsors. Sorry for the hot start. I had to get into this because the system's been acting weird. But I want to get to my guest, one of my best friends, Taylor Spadaccino. What's going on? Hi, We're here. Wow, you're leaning like a weird way. I can't. Go pull the mic closer. She's acting new. Yeah, grab that. Pull that all the way to you.
Set me up. I am not
Keep
taking
going.
responsibility. Oh, it just stays.
Now look where your cameras are. You're here.
Okay.
And here, straight away.
Well, I'd be okay if I wasn't in the camera view.
Oh, everybody wants to see you. They don't want to see me.
No.
Listen, I'm excited.
Look, I see myself. I'm good. Right?
I'm excited to have you. Get it. You were arguing with me earlier. It was good stuff. You were saying how much shit's in here. It's pretty funny.
I've never met a man with more shit. How are you not claustrophobic?
Should I be? You act like it's like 47 meters below down here or something.
Why do you have an ice maker? You got some really random shit in here.
What else is random? What else?
The entire thing. You got
Like what?
A giant Yoda behind you and a AK with a...
Pull the mic closer because I want you to point everything out to everybody.
Oh,
What else?
Quite the collection in here.
It's quite the collection of nonsense.
5,000
What
hats.
is so ridiculous to you? What is the most
Lightsabers.
nonsensical thing?
I don't know. Give me a moment. It's like an I Spy game. There's so much shit.
Drunk 3PO, what's up? I can see you, so send any questions you want. So we agree, it is a little ridiculous in here. Maybe we'll do some house cleaning. I do have a flamethrower coming.
You should do like a cool giveaway.
Like what?
I don't know. You got some weird shit in here. That's
A new car.
No. Like,
A knife.
yeah, you got
Something.
bats wrapped in barbed wire.
Listen,
War tools. I don't know.
you started to tell a story. Go ahead. Tell your story.
This is not something I wanted to share, but it's not even a big deal. I was chewing on a piece of gum yesterday, and literally a chunk of my molar came off. Like I heard like a snap. So I called my dentist, and he's like, "You're just getting older. It happens." I said,
You're
I'm
big on this
32.
old thing. You think you're old.
Yeah, because I'm getting there.
Why?
Well, when you're single and you don't have children, and you want them, like it's like a ticking time clock. I feel like a bomb. Does that make sense?
What are you supposed to have it?
Where am I supposed to be looking at, John?
Straight ahead or right at
I
me?
keep looking at you.
Right at me. Look at me.
Oh, okay, we're good then. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Look at me. I don't know why I can glance at that. It's just people asking questions. But I don't get the old thing. I don't understand why. That's a woman thing. Like women feel old, right? Like they go.
Yeah, I think especially like when it comes to children and a family and such, you know.
Do you feel like at 40, like you don't have the energy to have a family? Like you just like I'm not
even.
I'm not doing that whole kids shit.
I've got autoimmune disease, and I'm just scared. Like, what if I don't find someone? I already went to the doctor about freezing my eggs, and I think more women should talk about this. But I already went. I had my consult. Whenever I'm ready, I'm gonna do it.
I think it's amazing. I just think women are becoming more and more independent too. I think they don't need a man. They don't.
No, I
care.
don't. Well, I do. I want to have children, so I mean, I technically don't need a man, I guess, but.
I guess you don't. I mean, if you want, it depends if you even want that. Like, who wants a guy laying around the house, stinking shit up?
Who wants a John chilling in there?
You know, like who wants a John in their house? And you know, who wants that? You know?
Yeah.
Can he fit a car in the studio? That would be cool. I could probably fit a car in here. That's an interesting one.
No, there's too much shit.
I could probably get it.
No,
in
he
here.
couldn't. The answer is no.
Thanks for the super chat, Pickles. I wanted to I wanted to ask you. I wanted to get into this because you've been traveling a lot. Mm-hmm. What's it been like traveling with all this shit going on?
It's just a pain in the ass. I feel like the airports are super busy recently too.
Crazy.
Security.
I was just
has been
when I
crazy,
went to
yeah.
Montana, it was
I
crazy.
need to get the pre-check shit.
You don't have that?
No.
I feel like you would. You're like an international model now. I feel like you
don't
would.
say that. You're so stupid. No, I think it's been crazy though.
I mean, what's it like when you get off? Like, are they like, can we strip search you in the back? Like, how weird has it gotten?
No,
Papers?
I went to Hawaii, and I had gone to Puerto Rico in the middle of the whole, shit show, and it was I had gotten a negative test before I went within the 48 hours or whatever it was, and they just said as soon as you got there, they looked at your paper and they said if you didn't have this test, you would just have to quarantine for 10 days.
Right.
But they don't really track it, so whatever. So I go to Hawaii. I'm thinking, okay, it's the United States. I get it. It's an island, but it's still the States. I get there, and I'm like, oh, I don't even need to do the test. I'll just say that I'm going to quarantine. I wasn't even allowed on half the island because I didn't have a negative test or
Papers.
a vaccination. Yeah. So I was pretty pissed about that. So there were $5,000 on the hotel room I couldn't get back. So
Are you like an anti-vax, or are you just like, I don't want it?
I mean, no, if you want to get it, get
Get
it.
it.
You know, it's your own decision. I think we should all have our freedom. I don't want it. I don't think there's enough research. I want children. I don't know what that's going to do to my reproductive system and everything. So
It's reasonable.
yeah.
I think it's totally reasonable. I was just curious what it was like traveling, because I see you like in these far off lands, like just hanging out, and I'm like, it must be pretty cool, right? I mean, but it's not, right? It's like a journey, a quest.
Quest.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to be asked. No one's asked me yet. Like, no one's been like, hey, do you have any documentation? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how I would react to that yet.
Yeah.
I haven't made up my mind
My work, I know at work they're trying to push everyone.
to get documentation, something.
Yeah. And I said, okay, well, I'll see you later.
See you
I'm out
later.
of here.
I know.
If they try, but apparently it's going to be, if you don't get vaccinated, you need to have weekly testing done. Which is just a pain in the ass, but
Well, there's ways around that. You could say the carcinogens in the test scare me, you know, or whatever.
Perfect.
You know, there's certain things. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it all. I really don't. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I agree with masks at the airports. Like, if you feel there's some shit going on, and like airports are dirty to begin with,
Yeah,
don't act like, you know, you go to, listen, to everybody out there, I'm going to put the camera on. To everybody out there that you want to wear a mask in these bathrooms and this shit. Like, I'm okay with that. To be quite honest with you, it's just the excuse I need. There's people dirty, touching their shit, taking a shit, touching their dicks. There's a lot of weird stuff. I'm for that. I'm okay with that. Where I think it's the mandatoriness that makes it weird, right? Am I right in saying that? I think it's like the fact that it's like, you have to do this, or you have to give me papers.
yeah,
Bugs me.
absolutely, I agree. I just don't understand where the freedom to choose. I don't get it.
I don't want to get into a whole freedoms thing, because I'm.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean that.
But
that's
you know
the
what
way
I'm
I feel.
saying.
It's yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's shitty. And then there's countries starting to riot. It's getting weird. It's gonna get weirder. I think
I
it's
saw
gonna
in
get weirder.
Australia, shit's getting crazy.
It's crazy, right? I saw that clip. It looked like
Their lockdowns are
Braveheart.
insane though. Like we thought it was bad here.
Honestly, when someone sent me a clip today, it looked like a scene out of Braveheart.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
fucking
I
nuts.
know the clip.
I mean, nobody. At least what I saw, no one got hurt, so I'm not laughing. Like, they were just rioting, and like, you know, they actually weren't even.
They were
it
making
didn't
a
look.
run for it.
Yeah, they were just making a run for it. It was a little weird, but I mean, I don't know in Australia.
You can't even go. I think like 5 kilometers past your house without like having it approved. You can't be with someone that's not your family. I mean, I don't know. It's insane.
I'm laughing because I saw like one cop like swinging the baton, but he wasn't hitting anything, and the people just like, he was like, I'm overrun, you know. And then the accent, I just pictured them like, we're on the run, mate. Like, we're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I mean, Australia is such a beautiful place. You would think they could figure it out. Like, hey, no one can travel, and
Figure it out.
yeah, it's so stupid. I don't get it, but hey, whatever. You were talking about the food thing. Fill me in on these food allergies, because I had to get you a salad today, and it was like a mission.
Okay, so I stay away from gluten, and I stay.
Is there a
away from
reason?
dairy. Yeah, so I have Hashimoto's. It's a thyroid disease. It's an autoimmune
Mm-hmm.
disease, and they say when you have an autoimmune disease, you want to have an anti-inflammatory diet. So just stay away from gluten, and it's supposed to help your symptoms decrease. So, and
I know.
the dairy, I just feel like it helps my system run better. My skin is better. I don't
No dairy.
No. Oh, no, okay, that's not true. I love chocolate, so that's got some milk in it, but that's about it. But
I don't do-
I do dairy-free cheese and everything.
Well, as men,
Cheese
we
is
don't
hard
do.
'cause I am like a cheese addict.
Cheese is good.
I love some cheese.
That's the grease ball in you.
Yeah.
The Italian.
Yeah.
But I don't. As you get older, as a man, there's reasons you don't love dairy. You end up shitting yourself. Yeah. As a man, you just like, after a certain age, you just accept like dairy's not going to be in the cards much
I feel
longer.
like I hear more men talk about this. I don't know. Dairy.
Yeah,
maybe
the
my
anti.
ass is
I mean, if you're a man out there, to anybody paying attention, I mean, and you eat dairy, I'd love to hear the stories. But like, I put like a little creamer in my coffee, and I'm running for the toilet. Like, there's no
not the
question.
coffee, it's the creamer.
It's the creamer.
Damn.
I mean, it's any little piece of dairy. You know, I mean, I can't tolerate it. People that can late into life, good luck. I think that's great if you can have yogurts and stuff.
So you can't have ice cream. Can you have like lactose-free?
I can have it, but if I have it, it's going to be explosive diarrhea.
Oof. I don't know why this just reminded
It's
me
explosive.
of.
Like Dumb and Dumber.
Have you seen Sebastian Maniscalco?
Yeah.
And he talks about farting into the tea towels in her bathroom. He was on a date with the girl, and I guess he had dairy, I think it was.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
And he said he was farting into her tea towels in the bathroom. Oh, sorry, it was so funny.
His greatest clip was the bank rob. Was the robber, the guy robbed the house or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
He did that.
The one where he pulls out the
Yeah, bow and arrow. He's like, I have a bow and arrow for
so
self-defense.
He's hilarious.
He does like a very physical comedy. Like it's a lot of like
Acting.
a lot. Yeah, it's
like
a
charades in a way.
yeah, and I like him. I mean, I'm a big Joe Diaz fan just because I like stories. I like storytelling comedy because I feel like growing up, especially where I grew up, and I know in Philly for you, like I grew up with people sitting on the stoop outside. Like I grew up with that type of life. Like people, like I had uncles and grandparents. They went to clubs and hung out. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about clubs where they gambled. You know what I mean? And shit like that. Like I grew up around that stuff. So I like that story type of comedy. Like that cracks me up. Sebastian Maniscalco is so talented. He could do like the physical Jim Carrey type stuff, and it's freaking. He's so descriptive. He tells a story with his body, and that's what makes it so good.
Just his expressions alone are hilarious.
Especially his description of Italian culture.
Yeah, and then his wife's family is Jewish, and my stepdad's Jewish, so
right.
I feel like I can relate to that.
So you can relate to that.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually pretty fucking good, and he was just in The Irishman. Wasn't it? He was just in a movie. It was either it was The Irishman, I think.
De Niro?
He was in that. He was in Green Book. He was in Green Book. He was at the end. He was like the cousin in the house. No. Anyway, if you go back, he's been in a few movies, but he's getting pretty good in movies too.
I like his comedy.
You know, not too bad. You know, it's funny. Someone just said you're a bodybuilder. I love that. The bodybuilder thing. Bodybuilder.
Oh, you can see the shit up there.
Now you figured it out.
Oh.
That's you could figure it out. There's everyone that comments there. Once in a while, if you guys comment a super chat, I'll get you involved in this. But lactose-free milk, Fred Flintstone, is an option, but I don't necessarily do lactose-free milk. It's not in my wheelhouse. When you here's the thing, guys. Listen. I'm gonna say something Taylor can comment on. When you get older, it's about percentages, right? Like, for me going out and having an ice cream and walking downtown, the strip, Summerlin, whatever, it's a very high percentage I'm going to have to run for a toilet. But those are low percentage toilets. I'm not going in those toilets. Yeah. My opportunity in those toilets is bad. There's going to be somebody knocking on the door. I can't get, the whole thing will be a nightmare. So it's not in my wheelhouse.
Condoms on the back of the toilet.
So you, like with Hashimoto's, you limit your, like, you know what? I like a pizza like everybody else, but I'm going to limit my involvement.
Well, yeah, or I do gluten.
Pull that closer if you're going to lean back.
That's right.
Pull it.
Well, I am pulling. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I do eat pizza, and I eat gluten-free. But
you have to get like that cauliflower crust.
It's actually not that bad, okay? But yes, it is a little more difficult if I'm eating out. But sometimes I'm like, you know what, I don't have celiacs or anything, so it's not like I can't eat it.
Right.
I just stay away from it. So sometimes I'm like, shit, I really want a donut. Fuck it, I'll eat a donut. Can I say that?
Yeah, no, of course. It's explicit. No, I get it now. I mean, I totally relate.
You can't trust a fart, yeah.
No.
Sorry, someone said that.
Oh, that's awesome. You can't trust a fart.
Have you ever sharted?
I think we've all shit ourselves. Listen, here's my theory on shitting, right? Everybody, and I say this into the camera because it's from the heart. Everybody at some point in their life has had an accident.
Absolutely.
That's 100% the truth. I can harken back to a couple of bad situations that were a little explosive. One in particular, in my defense, I was sick. I didn't feel good. And I knew I didn't feel good, and I remember it, and it was back in college, and this was like a dangerous one. I think I was in a bar, and I think I had explosive diarrhea, and I think it led to, like, you, as a man, you get rid of the underwear, you know what I mean? You kind of start losing garments. I've had those incidents. Do you want to share one?
I can't say I've actually shit myself, but I have absolutely pissed the bed.
There's accidents.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I was around 22, I probably peed the bed once or twice while I was blacked out drunk.
Was it booze? Booze.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, you can use that. I mean, but I think.
I hope there was booze and I didn't just pee the bed. But. A
lot of guys have done this. I've never done the get out of the bed and you pee standing up. You know what I mean? Like when you're hammered, like you just stand up and pee. People have talked about that. That's common.
In the Marines, I had my buddy piss down my stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just right down the stairs.
That's sounds about right. I've had a couple of incidents, but I think those types of accidents are real, and I think they happen. I mean, I think they happen to everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people would probably say, "Oh no."
This is the most sentimental talk about shitting your pants ever.
Yeah, Freddie just said, "Yeah, I have shit myself in a bar in Amherst. I got to name the bar. The bar doesn't exist anymore, but that did happen. That's a real thing. You know, I mean, I don't know how you stop it, but if you're under the weather and you're sick, I think that's like a little bit, you know, a little bit of a cover. Like your cover is like, I was drunk and I passed out.
Yeah, I mean, I
the end.
The bed. As a grown-ass woman.
As a grown-ass woman.
Yeah.
Have you ever burned anything?
What do you mean burned anything?
Food? Like you ever leave anything smoking?
Absolutely. I caught my salmon on fire like a month ago on the grill. The whole thing up in flames. I don't know how somebody didn't come over. I put the salmon on the grill in some foil. I went inside, started vacuuming, doing whatever the hell I was doing. I came out and it's just poof.
I was watching Below Deck on Bravo and the chef almost burnt the boat down.
Oh shit, I was watching that at the nail salon yesterday. That's about the yacht, right?
What episode are you up to?
I don't know. I was just watching it at the nail salon.
Go closer to the mic. These people want to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, it's like an arm, okay.
The closer you are.
Okay.
So I'm on Below Deck Mediterranean. If you haven't checked out on Bravo, there's a show called Below Deck. If you really want to see some really entertaining shit, it's Bravo's got that whole thing on lockdown. On lockdown.
You like reality shows?
I like that show.
I'm not a reality show person. I don't like.
Yeah, but we grew up with like Road Rules and.
Yeah, in high school I loved it.
You got to tighten it at the top. Mess with it.
This right here.
Yeah, it'll tighten up.
Road Rules, and I really liked. What's the other one?
I think the best Real World. I think the best thing to come out of them was the confessional. Remember they had the confessional? They would go in the confessional. That's the best thing that's come out of those shows.
I always say my work should have a confessional. Like we should turn the refrigerator where we keep all the kegs and shit.
Everyone should have a confessional. I think every employer,
the customers and the coworkers. Yeah, for sure.
I think every job, if every job had a confessional, there would be so much great media created. Like everybody would be like a media company. And if we all could just laugh at it, that would be even better.
I also think they need to do a reality show on a veterans hospital because I swear it's the most entertaining place in the world.
Why?
Because you got all these, I don't know, these old veterans or they're interesting.
The old timers are the best.
Yeah, they don't have a filter. They don't
No?
give a fuck. No.
Yeah. That's why I love to get old. I'm an old soul. I love being like old.
Yeah, you're pretty old.
Then you can just not care.
Soul.
Ancient. Dust. So you go to a veterans hospital and you just like to people watch. Why don't you do a show?
I don't just go there.
Why don't you go there with a microphone and just interview the old timers? You'd make millions.
I'll never forget this one time. I'll never forget this. So I went to go pick up my prescription and you have to hand them your ID. And this man was eating a bowl of chili, John. I can't make this shit up. He dropped. I went to go hand it to him over the bowl of chili. My ID, my driver's license went right into the bowl of chili. I can't fucking make this up. I was like, this has to be a joke. Right in his bowl of chili. He had to go and wipe it and bring it back.
Unbelievable. Anyway. Where's the veterans hospital here?
It's by like Aliante.
No.
Northwestish. It's up there.
They must love you in there, the old timers. Come here, honey.
No.
No?
No.
Are you a nurse?
I gotta have that creepy voice.
That's terrible. Are you a nurse? Anyway, have you watched any new movies? I had a movie for you the other day. That documentary on Woodstock. Did you see the one on Woodstock?
No.
You need to. It's really good.
No, I started watching Ozark.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really like it.
Why?
Ozark?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was
shot really well. The dialogue's really good.
Yeah, I like the actors in it too. I'm super excited for the next season of Peaky Blinders to come
Peaky
out.
Blinders.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I have. I don't love it Ozark I can tolerate a little bit more, but
no, I love Peakies.
You like Peakies?
Yeah.
Well, hey, whatever. I guess it's okay. But you got to watch the documentary on Woodstock. I wanted to talk to you about that. It's really good. Did you watch the Val Kilmer one?
No.
Where have you been?
I don't know. Here.
There's
a
Val Kilmer.
A lot of television.
Yeah, but there's good documentaries right now. There's a good Val Kilmer one. There's a good one on Woodstock '99. They talked a lot about like the bands they had on, how much of a flop it was, the time in life that we were at, and it was around the time we were all in high school. So it was like, I'm a little bit older, but you would remember it was like the Limp Bizkit phase of things, and it was really freaking good. It was really good. It definitely if you were around then, to everybody listening, it speaks to you. It's definitely like one of those coming of age type deals, you know.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on. I think, and people could correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's on Prime. It might be on something else. Yeah, the documentary on Val Kilmer is really good. Dark Shadows, Dark Shadow Logan. It's really good. So it gets into his life and it talks about how he was, involved. What's up, Bo? Go check out Dr. Bo Hightower. It gets into his life and his whole situation and him being on Top Gun and how he was like an actor's actor and he was misunderstood and people said he was difficult to work with, but he really wasn't, and just all that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff about his career I didn't realize that like he did, and just roles he took on he didn't want to. He paid off all his dad's debts. His dad had like not robbed him, but like started bad businesses. Shit. It's pretty good.
You know what I watched just because my mother watched it? Speaking of documentaries, I watched the one on Tina Turner.
Amazing. I didn't realize Ike beat the fuck out of her.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know
like,
that.
Didn't slap her around.
No,
he beat the fuck out of her.
The hell out of her. That's crazy. And I also watched, I was like, Mom, why are you watching this? But she was watching the documentary on Paris Hilton. And I thought it was really interesting. She went to a boarding school. Her parents sent her to it, and she was abused.
Oh, yeah. I heard this.
The school is under fire. They have all these sexual, assault charges and
a couple girls came
abuse.
Forward.
Yeah, the schools hopefully get shut down. But did you know she makes $1 million every time she performs as a DJ? She's the highest paid.
I believe that.
I don't know if it's female or just it must be female DJ.
I believe that. I mean, I'm not up in the DJ world, but
me neither. I've never heard. I don't even think she's probably. I mean, no offense, Paris Hilton, but
yeah, I mean it's a name, right? She got to make a living somehow. She only owns Hilton, so I think she'll be fine. But
she'll be okay. But the Tina Turner one was very interesting.
Yeah, the Tina Turner one. So I watched that, and I know Ike beat her, and I know that there was a lot of mental abuse, but I had no idea she stayed as long as she did. That's what I mean. I know we see the movies or you watch the movie, but I mean,
she's with a young guy now.
Yep.
She's been with him for a while. Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Good one, though.
Yeah.
And then before that, John had me watching Maura Murray.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of it? The Disappearance of Maura Murray?
The Disappearance of Maura Murray.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
If you haven't checked out The Disappearance of Maura Murray, go check it out. As far as true crime goes, it hits home for me because it happened near me and around a time when I was in the area. So it was like really close to home. What a fucked up case that is.
Okay, so I see one about the black square. Can I hit that?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know what that is, but go ahead.
Oh, so that had to do with Black Lives Matter. So in the beginning, I supported it. And then as time went on, I realized the organization wasn't everything I thought it was in the beginning. And that's really all there is to it.
I think a lot of nonprofits start out that way, and I think a lot of organizations start out that way. That's why people end up taking like the blanket approach of like, I don't support any anymore.
And I did, and I'll speak on Black Lives Matter, and I'll always answer questions and everything. But in the beginning, you think it's one thing, and then it turns out it's not. So
it's okay to change your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mean is that okay?
I mean, what am I gonna do?
Right.
So.
I mean, I don't remember you ever being like a BLM like.
No, I never was. But
what'd you do, like a post?
Yeah, no, it was like this black square thing. So I mean, I have no shame in it. So it was basically.
How dare you?
No,
let's burn her.
I guess it was just like.
How dare you?
I don't know. I mean, I was upset when the whole thing happened. Not to get into the whole George Floyd thing, but I mean that was upsetting. The situation shouldn't have happened, and yeah.
No, it shouldn't have happened from a number of perspectives, but a lot of them have to do with training too. A lot of them have to do with where that whole situation kind of unraveled.
Yeah.
But without getting into it.
But
Yeah, it's terrible. The whole situation's terrible because at the end of the day, everybody suffers. That's why it's freaking awful.
Yeah.
Police, everything. And right now, nobody wants to do that job. Nobody at all.
I'm just curious for TJ why me being a Marine veteran has anything to do with it, though.
Yeah.
But if you want to answer that.
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah. No, I'm just curious. Though.
I know. I don't know. I mean, I think he's asking like what changed in your perspective, and I think you answered that.
But
Yeah, and I do think there's a bandwagon effect. I think the George Floyd thing had a bandwagon effect for a lot of people. I mean, if the Patriots win 10 championships in a row, people in Arkansas are going to be fans. I mean, I get it. There's a bandwagon effect. I think BLM for a lot of people, if you go back pre-George Floyd, it's like, let me tell you about these nonprofits. I didn't want to get into this, but I'll get into this. Let me tell you about these nonprofits, all of them. They all go bad. I'm going to say some shit that everybody's heard me say on a phone call, so this isn't news. This is how I feel. All these things go bad. It doesn't matter if it's fucking Wounded Warrior, if it's this, if it's that. I could tell you 10 things that go bad. And of course in BLM, there's 100 things that went bad beyond the fact that the people are using it as a platform to buy $1 million homes. I don't think anybody agrees with that. I don't think anybody should. But sooner or later, what happens with a lot of these nonprofits is they start out good. Hey, Taylor, support my nonprofit. It's a veteran thing. Or, hey, John, shout out my nonprofit. We save burned kids and all this stuff. There's almost none of them that stay true to what they are. It's very hard. St. Jude's is a good example, but that's also had its ups and downs in terms of funding and where it goes. So they all have their ups and downs. I just want to say that about foundations. Everybody starts them, and we're going to support Leo's, and we're going to support this, and then you find out they bought a new Ferrari. And I'm not with that.
Yeah.
Someone asked, though, what's your perspective on the Biden pullout game? I'm sure no one has an opinion yet, but it's obviously a mess.
it's obviously a disaster. So I was there.
It's too soon, but
I was at Bagram Air Base for 7 months. So, I mean, it's not like I was kicking down doors, but I was there. I spent 7 months of my life there. It hurts me. My heart hurts. Like, it's upsetting. What was it all for? 20 years. And I understand that they wanted this war to be over with. They wanted to pull out the troops, but we couldn't have done it more responsibly. Like, I'm confused. But there's also, I feel like I'm hearing all these conspiracy theories now. So.
What have you heard? I haven't heard any, like I said, I haven't even formed. I know it's awful. I just haven't gotten a deep dive into the details yet.
So I've heard that they want Iraq and Afghanistan to go with Iran to fight, and then I've heard that Biden, has China has Biden in their back pocket, and China wants the rights to the minerals, and I've heard all these crazy different things, and who the hell knows? But if it was truly just irresponsibility, I think it's terrible. I mean, I can't believe. Watching these videos, my heart breaks. How in 2021 we let this happen? And I feel bad for all these veterans that are so upset that went over there. They sacrificed, they lost their buddies.
They were showing people like falling off the planes.
Oh, it's terrible. Not to mention that now they have all the Afghanistan government, all their shit. They've got all the U.S.'s shit. I mean, I can't imagine what's going to arise from this, not just for Afghanistan, but for the United States.
Well, the long-term ramifications, you just, you can't, it's inept. The whole thing is a mess, but the long-term ramifications are so bad because you have too many people questioning why they were even there in the first place if we're leaving there, and it's literally worse, and it's a mess. But, hey, we had to have a second Vietnam. The first one wasn't enough.
I feel so bad for, anyone, the allies of people, the translator, anyone that helped the United States, anybody. I just feel bad for everyone that's over there, especially women and children. I mean, how women were fighting so hard to get their rights and to just go to school and to work, and they're already spray painting the faces of women off the building. Like, buildings, I can't even. I just read a thing that if you had an electronic Bible on your phone, they're putting you on a list or I'm beating you. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So many things are upsetting.
There'll be a lot of stories that'll come out of this. Watch. Books will be written about people being left behind and trying to get out. And it's terrible. Like you said, translators, a lot of unknown people that aren't, at the forefront of the conversation. I think what's going to bug a lot of people and what's going to hurt this situation is what did we do, right? Like the British sent the SAS in. There was you have to try to get your people out. And that's what killed Hillary. I mean, that's going to come back. And without getting too deep into it, but that's going to be a lasting ripple.
And I also want to say that I was watching the news today, and I know the news isn't always the most reliable source, but where else are we supposed to watch? But anyways, I was watching Fox, and they were showing that like other countries, what they were saying about Biden's pullout, like, you know, the United States, how they pulled out, and it's embarrassing. Like, we are not looking too good to everyone else. I don't know. We're supposed to be a leader. It's just sad.
100% right. And to everybody that says BLM, I read some of the comments that BLM was bad from the beginning. I agree with you. Some are bad from the beginning, but you have to snuff them out. Not everybody's as keen as everybody else. And soon you kind of, sometimes how you get coaxed into these things. And if you take the stance that they all turn bad, then eventually you don't get sucked into it as much. But that's like everything. We've all gone and saw a bad movie because the trailer was good. You know, it happens. I think that's not so much a sign of they all start out and have a story. We're here to help somebody. I want to talk to you too about Cuomo.
About what?
Cuomo. His defense. I'm Italian.
Oh God, that's embarrassing. He's embarrassing. Has his brother been back on CNN?
I don't know.
I know he was taking a
because I wanted to get to this before, you know what I mean? I wanted to get to this with you because I need fellow Italian Americans to chime in. How ridiculous was his defense?
What a sleazebag.
I'm Italian.
As a grown-ass man and a politician, he really said that. I'm not really that surprised, though.
I didn't touch it.
I can't even believe... isn't that unreal? I mean, shit.
So a lot of people have asked me, and obviously there's been 1,000 memes about it. I don't know if his brother's back on CNN, but I found it very comical that all these people came forward. In his last press conference, his defense was that he's an Italian American. He was raised that way. Now, I can speak for my growing up Italian American. I grew up in a household that was Italian. Let me say this. I grew up, it was Italian, Catholic, an entire life built on guilt. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm not getting into that. But I'm saying your life is literally built around guilt. You hugged and kissed, but I don't remember, like, there wasn't a lot of physical emotion in my house. I mean, nobody was getting an extra long hug.
No.
He goes,
I don't know if it's because he meant his remarks or his acts, or I don't know. But
what house did he grow up in? Hi, let me finger bang my aunt. Like, what the fuck?
No, I mean, yeah, no, it wasn't like that.
Come here, honey. Like, let me rub up against you.
No, that's a ridiculous excuse. But are we surprised it's him?
No, and I think he's part of that generation where, you know, like Biden, like where they did all that weird touching, and like Biden's just weird. The sniffing's weird. That's a whole nother level of weirdness, you know. But he said, I'm Italian. Now, it's hard for me to understand like where he came from with that excuse, because the Italians have been blamed for a lot of things.
Like what?
The mafia.
Okay, it existed.
Crime.
Okay, they did it.
And I would say, are we a chauvinistic culture? A little bit.
Maybe.
But I wouldn't say we can now. When did we become like the Russians smuggling children into, like, when did we become, like, I'm saying, it's never crossed the line. We're not the French. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck?
No, the bottom line is that it's him. So.
But who in his PR team, when they got together, like, you're a savvy person, would you ever be like, we're going to use the Italian defense?
The Italian defense.
Like, what the fuck is that?
I know. I wonder how much shit he caught for that afterwards.
I mean, I'm sure he got taken off of every Italian American freaking thing, every board. But like, who's sitting in that room that all of a sudden they say, like, imagine you're sitting in the back of that room, Taylor, we're going to go with I'm Italian. How about that? No one says like, hey, that's not a good idea.
Ridiculous.
I love it. It's so funny, but it's a sign of the time.
I'm looking at these comments.
What?
Okay, so what in the thoughtery? I guess someone's trying to say, like, I'm just gonna call people out.
Call them out.
I don't understand what's wrong with me. I'm in a tank top. I don't get it.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna say his name. Don't give him a plug. Sniffing is creepy. Absolutely. Jesus, absolutely. You know, definitely the sniffing is a whole nother level of weird. And there's a lot of weird, and a lot of these politicians are getting outed. There's the one that was sleeping with the fucking Chinese, the Chinese CIA agent. There was that one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's a whole bunch.
My father used to tell me that his mom would chase him around the kitchen with a wooden spoon.
Oh my God, that's a classic line. Rabid one, you get a point for that. That's yeah. There was a lot of, like I'm saying, it wasn't like that. What house did he grow up in? Because I remember my grandmother would get mad and turn on you, and she'd be like, "The beatings will now commence," and
yeah,
you
I got my
ass kicked.
Yeah, I got my ass beat.
I mean, like where was this hugging and kissing and finger banging?
I grew up. We had the belt.
Oh,
You got your ass beat with the belt.
but where did he?
Not the affectionate. It wasn't. I mean, yeah, you hug and kiss someone, but that's
Yeah,
about
but
it.
like to kiss someone on the cheek, I get it. When you grow up that way, okay, I get that. But I don't understand. Like, I took a beating. I feel disrespected now as an Italian.
Yeah.
No, fuck.
We've talked about this man too long.
Next topic. Anyway, I want to get into one more thing with you.
What's up?
What are your plans?
I don't know.
We talked a little the other day about this.
Well, yes.
Do you want to do any sharing?
I want to start my own company up. I don't know what I'm going to do with the fitness world, and I don't think I'll ever.
You got a new company though.
Yeah. I just got my business license. My girlfriend and I were going to start a lingerie company, a swimwear as well. So that's something I've always been interested in. So, yeah, we'll see where it goes.
I think you do really good with it. I think it would be a good move.
I'm excited.
I think it would
be my own boss one day. So.
Well, you're kind of your own boss now.
Yeah, in a sense, this is true, but.
You're kind of your own boss now,
Yeah.
and you put a lot of work into your media, and I want people to understand this. It's not. It's something you take pride in. You don't skimp, and you just traveled around and did a bunch of media. It's something you take very seriously in what you put out there, and I think that'll carry over.
Yeah, I try and do quality stuff and keep it as classy as possible. So. Yeah.
Well.
My father would.
I think you do that, and I agree with all you guys. I'm seeing all the comments go by. The parents gave beatings. There's no. I don't know where he got the finger banging, and
Is that what he was actually?
Fondling and.
What was he accused of?
He was grabbing on people.
Just grab. Yeah.
Like he was groping people, and I think what he was doing. I have a theory. I think he was just a really inappropriate. Like I don't think he was doing Harvey Weinstein shit.
Yeah.
I hope, right? I mean, I hope. How crazy can we be? And I'm not saying it was right. I'm not saying it's right. It's not right what he does. Because here's the thing, guys. You can be a Casanova and whatever, and sooner or later you get old and you get a little bit of room, but you start being a fucking asshole, and that's probably what he started being to some of them, in the way he talked to them and the way he approached them, and that's why people blow the whistle. That's what it comes to. I mean, am I wrong in saying that? There's a line.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I don't want to speak for females, but I'm speaking for females, I guess. But right?
Yeah, you're right.
Like there's a line where you go from bad to fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what is the line?
You want specific examples?
I mean, I don't need a specific example, but like, if a guy, is it worse if he says something, or is like how bad do we have to be? Like in a picture, do I have to have the floating arm? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we nitpick people? I'm not saying Cuomo by any stretch. I'm asking you as a woman. Like, there's a line.
Where like, of tolerance?
Yes.
Yeah. No, there is. But I think it's different for every woman, probably.
Yes.
Something that I would just pass off and brush off and be like, fuck you, or, you're real funny or something. Some woman could be super offended. So.
And some are outspoken and some aren't. Some will set that line. But I think sometimes the woman has to set the line, right?
Yeah, for sure. But then I also feel like in the military, I will say this. It's tougher for females. I feel like, now you're a grown-ass woman. You're in the military. You should be able to speak out.
Someone said he had the original casting couch. That's pretty funny. I had to say that. Go ahead.
So, in the military, I feel like it's a little bit harder when you put rank. And then as a female, especially in the Marines, I felt like I had to build my respect. I started a little bit lower. I feel like as a female, you're looked down upon. I mean, it is what it is. It's facts. And I I feel like it's a little bit more difficult to speak out and draw the line when you have someone harassing you that's superior to you.
Right.
That their word might be taken more seriously. You know, you're outnumbered by a bunch of men. You're scared. You don't want to be a drama queen.
You're 1,000 miles from home.
Yeah, I went through a sexual assault, and I didn't say anything. It was one of my roommates had said something, and it went to court martial. This whole thing, it happened to the same person did it to multiple people, but I didn't want to speak out even. So it's not always easy to speak out. It's not always easy to draw the line, if you catch my drift.
But I think, I totally catch it. What I think is, I think women would benefit a lot if they establish it. Like you need to establish it at some point with certain people, and I think that certain people will try to overstep their bounds, and unless you step up and establish it, and that's when it's really scary, when it's established and then they step over it.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, a lot of women, like maybe they worked below him and they were scared for this, sake of their job. Yes.
Oh, they 100% shouldn't have to do it in that instance.
Yeah, I get it. They should be able to stand up for themselves. But at the same time, I could see how it's intimidating or scary for a woman to actually stand up when they feel like their career is on the line, or they're going to be, their job's going to be sabotaged, or whatever it is.
How bad do you think he was? You think he was like, "Come here, baby"?
He's a creepy man. He
He's
looks
a
like a
creepy
creep.
guy.
So it's probably pretty bad if I
Get on my desk. Let me show you my papers. Like, what the fuck is going on? Jesus. Yeah, he has a creepiness to him, and then there's the brother, and it's all just weird, and who knows how that'll play out, but God, it's going to be fun to watch in some ways. It's the two of them. It's going to be interesting. Who knows? Any plans to go back to Philly? Anytime soon? You going to go back?
To visit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
See my mom.
Yeah.
So.
And otherwise, you're out here.
Never moving back there, though.
I know. You've said that, and I've said the same thing. How can you?
I know.
You're better off moving her.
She would never. She hates Vegas.
Move her. Yeah, who knows? You'll
never go back to Boston?
No. You know that. I mean, I can't go back proper. You know what I mean?
Here?
I would go to New Hampshire. I would never go back to Boston. Would I stay here? Sure. I don't have a problem. You know why? We've talked about this. The food's good here. There's a nightlife if you want it.
Priority list. The food's good here.
Food's good here. But here's the thing, like Boston, it's not like I'm going to go work down on, Boylston Street or something. There's not a lot of strategic benefits to me being there. Now, if I went to New Hampshire, the reason I bring up New Hampshire is there's 6 Hour there. So there's opportunity, there's brands I would work with, there's things I would do in those areas. But that's very different. New England, you can kind of live anywhere and you're 30 miles from Boston no matter where you are. I wouldn't go back. Would I stay here? Yes, because in my priority list, being able to go out to dinner or being able to interact when I want to is important to me. So that requires some level of an urban commitment, right? Would I want to live out in the country? I've done that. It's not ideal.
Montana?
Yeah. I mean, you're very secluded. A lot of people think they want that life, but you have to be prepared for that life.
Yeah, I feel like.
Where would you go?
I don't
like,
know.
Would you want a farm?
No, if I would love a family with children, and I want them to have a lot of land to play on. I want them to have outdoor toys and such. I'd rather them have more of a country life, if anything.
Like a lot of people are doing the Florida thing. I don't see it.
I know the humidity's kind of crazy. You know where I went where I really loved?
Where?
Utah.
I could see you doing that.
I thought Salt Lake was incredible, and all the surrounding areas, like the suburb, are so nice.
The Taylor retirement
Truly
strategy.
Nice. Yeah, maybe I'll end up in Utah.
You might.
Become a Mormon. No, I wouldn't become a Mormon.
No, you wouldn't do that. No. Too much work. That's too much work. That's like people who convert to being a Jew. The amount of time.
Does it really take that long?
I think so. There's all kinds of things that go into it. They do it usually when they get married.
Thanks.
There's all kinds of things. I think it's the same if you want to be a Christian, right? You got to get like baptized. This whole thing.
It's not that. Texas. I've been to Dallas. Okay.
I can't do the traffic in DFW. So it wouldn't be Texas.
What about Austin?
I could see Austin.
About Austin.
I could see Austin. I can't do the traffic there. We'll see. We'll find a place yet. Vegas is a nice alternative. Alternative to like Florida. I couldn't do Miami. The traffic. I could do Boca. I don't know.
You couldn't?
I could.
Yeah.
I could do Boca, that area, but not Miami proper. No way. No,
I've never
no,
been
no.
to Miami.
No.
Been to Boca.
Not Miami proper. Too crazy.
I was in like Jacksonville, and I liked it. Everyone says it's like really a terrible part of Florida, but I didn't think so.
Jacksonville's nice. Florida's really hot right now because DeSantis is making it like the spot to live.
Yeah.
You know, the restrictions, everything. I could see you do Utah. For some reason, I could see you do that. That
Yeah,
would
I'd
make
like to have a family in a quaint little home in Utah.
little home, little 3-bedroom,
Sure.
4.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. A ranch, some goats. That could be Taylor's retirement.
Yeah, goats are cute. They're cute.
So everybody who's from Texas, try to, sway Taylor's vote where she's going to go. If you're from Utah, try to let her know. Let her know.
Austin is a lost cause. Interesting.
I think so. I think so.
Oh, someone said Tennessee. I'm sorry for trying to get off, but I heard great things about Nashville.
Nashville's a
I don't
great
think
town.
I've ever heard anything bad about Nashville.
Nashville's a great town, especially if you're in Tennessee, your cost of living's not crazy. It's not crazy. You don't have a what?
Nashville.
Yeah. Oh, there's a couple really nice streets. I've been there for NRA. I've been there a couple times. Nashville's a great little town. That I could see. I could see that.
That's where Thomas just moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. Austin, no. It's like a mini California with dirty hippies. Okay. That's a direct quote I just read. It's good to know. Okay. Wow. Someone just compared it to San Francisco. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Jesus. Wow. A lot of people. Yeah. So if you want to be one of 10 wives, yeah, that is true. You'll end up being part of like some fucking concubine. Some guy will be like, come here, honey. Let me give you the candy. All right. I know we want to get off. We gotta eat lunch. Yeah. There's a bunch of people. Hey, let Taylor know where you want her to live. Let her know. Well, I appreciate your comments on Biden. I appreciate your comments on BLM. I appreciate everything. I appreciate your friendship, and thank you for stopping in for the update.
No, thank you, John. I appreciate it. I had fun.
I love it. Listen, thank all the sponsors. Listen, head over to the website. I'm going to make it easy for you guys today because we had some snafu setting up. Head over to the website. There's a complete list there. A lot of people have messaged me about supporting the show. It's simple. Share it. Write a review. Buy something from the sponsors and tell them I sent you. Anything. But the more you share the show, the more you thumbs up it. And guys, some of you have mentioned, looking at other shows and watching other episodes. Please do that. That helps too. To everybody that's sending super chats, they're greatly appreciated. I'm going to take a tally. We're going to do some giveaways and some stuff like that. So thanks for the super chats. I'm going to get back to you guys on the UFC cards. I am still opening them. I'm still going through that whole process here. So thank you for that. Great upcoming guests. Looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Go follow Taylor. She's everywhere listed as Taylor Spadaccino. Just go check her out. Go support her. Let her know where she should live. We're out.
Bye, guys.